Hello? Hi, yeah, just got a quick question for you. Yeah. Okay, I'm wondering if you can tell me if you have tuna fish for sale. Uh-huh. And how much is it per pound? Oh, really? That much, huh? Okay, bye.
What's that all about?
Just making a prank call.
A prank call?
Yeah. The old grocery store. Got them good.
How exactly was that a prank call?
Because I don't want any tuna. None. I don't like tuna. You know, the thing is, the prank calls actually predate the telephone itself. Not a lot of people know this, but when Reginald Fessenden and Charles Marconi, Chucky Marconi, were doing their very first experiments in radio transmission, they used the, the ... like the Braille system. And Marconi was a bit of a prankster. So for the very first transmission that they ever did, that they were going to test out, Marconi planned to send 4 sevens, the numeral 7. So, Fessenden got ready on his side, on one side of the Atlantic, right? Marconi's there at Signal Hill, Newfoundland, sends the first 7, right? It's received. Perfect, crystal clear, their invention is working. Hits 7 again. Received perfectly. So that's 2 sevens. He sends the third 7. Things are getting pretty exciting, right? But then, because Marconi was a bit of a trickster, you know what he sent next?
No idea.
He sent a live wolf into Fessenden's house, where his family was there, his kids were sleeping, his wife was baking a custard, and the wolf was drunk, like super drunk. And the only thing worse than a wolf attack is a drunk wolf attack, because the wolf, right, it's still got its fangs and stuff, it'll still tear your flesh open, but it's got none of the precision, right? It's all sloppy and having a hard time, so it kills you really slowly and painfully. It takes about 15 minutes to die when a drunk wolf is killing you. So Marconi's there and he's looking at his watch. He notices, 15 minutes go by, kids are probably dead, his wife's probably dead, Fessenden himself is probably dead. And he sends that very last 7. This is sort of a day that'll go down in history, but also in infamy, right? And since then, 4 sevens in a row has come to kind of symbolize, to represent any plan that's sort of not fully thought through or kind of poorly executed. Yeah, hello? Hi, yes. Yeah, good. Just got a quick question for you. Do you have tuna fish? Oh. Well, I'm very sorry then. What? They don't have tuna fish.
There it is.
At the funeral home.
These days, there's not really that many consequences to making a prank call, right? Like, you get caught, you get, maybe a slap on the wrist, maybe the telephone company sends you a strongly worded letter. That's what it is today, right? But way back when, in the olden days, right, we're talking midway through the 19th century, consequences were a little steeper, right? because there was no 411 back then. It was hard to tell who was actually making these prank calls, like who was doing all this mischief.
Yeah.
So they would round up basically anybody who they suspected was making a call. Prank call, right? They would, so like maybe somebody would recognize someone's voice, or they just wouldn't they wouldn't like the look of them on the street or whatever. They would round them up and they would have these huge trials, right? The most famous one was probably in Salem. And in order to test whether someone was a prank caller or not, they would essentially go down to the river and they would tie cement blocks around people's legs, and they would huff them in the river. And if you sank, you know, your name would be cleared, and you would drown, but your family name would be kind of vindicated. But if you floated, they knew you were a prank caller. So they would grab a stick and they would reel you back in, pull you onto the shore. You know what happened to all those prank callers?
I have no idea.
Pack of drunk wolves to make sure you wouldn't make any calls anymore. The expression "cat's got your tongue" was originally "drunken wolf got your tongue," and you're not calling any numbers up anymore and making jokes. Tough guy, but it got shortened. All right, I got one more call to make, one more juicy prank, and I get this guy all the time. He always falls for everything.
Who is it? Who are you calling? Oh, it's my phone. Hello?
Hello, just got a quick question for you. Do you have any tuna fish in stock?
Jim? Jim, I know.
Do you carry that particular fish?
Jim, I know this is you because you're standing in front of me, and
is it 8 per pound?
You're standing in front of me, and your name came up on my caller display, Jim.